What's up, guys? Today we're doing a tier list for the Battlefield 6 operators and talking all about each individual one. If you're new to Battlefield 6 and you're thinking about playing it, potentially buying it, we're going to go through all the characters that you are going to play in the game. And we're going to be ranking them S, A, B, C, D. They're pretty balanced, so we are going to, they're pretty balanced. So honestly, like, nothing's really, like, that bad. So first, we're going to start with support. So support, you get an ammo bag, which is crazy because you're going to have an issue with ammo as every other character unless you have a support player who's running around. You're also going to have access to defibrillators, which can revive teammates that are downed, which is going to be extremely valuable because you can just, like, someone that just gets gunned down. It's honestly amazing. You're gonna have access to basically, more grenades. You have access to just, like, having more, like, utility for all your characters that are, like, near you. Like, you have, like, double smokes, triple smokes, and you're never really going to have an ammo problem. Honestly, support is, I would argue, is probably one of the best characters in Battlefield for, like, infantry fights, and it's really hard to really kill anybody when there's a support player running around. So I'm putting support as S. If you have a team of 4 support players, you're not really going to be able to deal with vehicles very well, but all infantry are going to struggle dealing with your squad. So, and you have a signature ability, which we are going to go over them. For support, you can use machine guns with no speed penalty. So you're just as fast with a machine gun compared to other people. And you can also revive faster if you just try to pick them up off the ground without the defibs. All right. Next character. You see me customizing my guns. Definitely do that quite a bit. Full support. Now we have Recon. So Recon is the sniper class. You don't necessarily have to use snipers. You don't have to use a specific gun on any of these characters, but the Recon is better with a sniper rifle than other characters. You're able to stabilize by holding your breath, and you can rechamber your gun because they're all bolties a little bit faster than any of the other characters. And you mark them while you ADS. And special abilities, I mean, you have a couple decent ones. You have a motion sensor that you can place on the ground that will detect enemies around you. Like, if you're in a building, they're surrounding you, you're going to know where they're coming from based on your minimap, which is extremely useful. Or you can place them further out, kind of sneak up, place them further out, fall back. You're going to know when the enemy is pushing up. You're also going to have access to a squad beacon, which lets teammates and yourself, like, just respawn at that beacon wherever you placed it. If you respawn there as the Recon, you have to replace it, but your teammates will be able to just respawn there indefinitely until it's destroyed. And then you're also going to have access to C4, which is incredibly useful at dealing with tanks. Super strong. If you get close enough to a tank to, C4, one Recon with C4 is enough to take down a tank, which is honestly kind of crazy. So, you are the best at range. You have a sniper rifle. I've been running around with a sniper that has a 1x scope because I'm playing on 4.3. So it's kind of like I'm zoomed in a little bit, and I don't have that sniper glint because when you are a sniper with a high optic, you are going to have that shiny light that, is going to give away your position. So Recon, I think, is pretty good, but a lot of people will play Recon like purely a sniper and will hide in hills and not push points. So I'm going to place Recon a little bit lower because Recon is really good when you can get close enough to vehicles. Super strong doing that. And against other infantry, also pretty strong. But, like, when there's medics and stuff on the board, it is hard to really finish people off. As you play throughout the round, you'll level up and get special perks that if you headshot somebody, they're dead. They cannot be revived. But that's later in the game, when the game's already kind of shifting one way or the other. It's not going to make much of an impact. Recons can be strong, but it really depends on the player, which is why I'm going to place Recon at B tier. Not bad though. I've destroyed a lot of tanks as recon. You sneak up, you place the C4 down. Kind of nice. Get out your guns. Honestly, it's honestly really nice. Kind of feels like Tarkov in a way, going through your gun customizations. Looking for when I do a different character. Here's me trying out the bolty. See what I want it. All right, now we get to engineer. Engineer is a tough one because engineer can be really strong with a team, but alone you're not going to get much done. You do have motion grenades, which are kind of nice. You can throw it out and you can see when people are where they're moving, etc. You're going to have an RPG or anti-air guns. Really the only infantry to air unit that can, deal with air. And, the RPG isn't going to one-shot a tank, but it is going to chip it down, and you're going to reload if you're behind cover. If there's multiple engineers, you can destroy a tank from really easily, instantly. If you have a squad of engineers, you can destroy a tank probably within seconds. You are going to be better with SMGs, so better hit fire, and you are going to have a repair tool to repair vehicles. So, an engineer squad, like playing around like a tank or something, is going to be extremely useful for like either making that tank stay up. And if you in tank versus tank, if you have more engineers on one side versus the other, the engineers can also use RPGs. They can repair the tank. It's going to swing it one way or the other. And if a tank's up, honestly, it definitely swings the fight for power one way or the other. So super useful. But for me, I find the engineer is a decent character, but it's definitely more based around vehicle combat. And depending on the game mode you're playing, if there's not that many vehicles, then engineer is going to fall a little bit at the wayside. But engineers around tanks always going to be fairly strong. So I will place the engineer at A tier. I think that's solid, but you need to play around vehicles, either destroying enemy vehicles or playing and supporting your own. Simple enough. We are going to do another guide on best kits for weapons next beta. But we are going to do that. So now we have the assault. Assault is honestly one of my favorites other than the support. I'm going to show you the ranking of the assault class really quick. I'm going to place assault at A tier as well. No, like I said, like most of them are pretty balanced. I didn't really feel like anything was like super bad, but like definitely felt like the support was probably the best, and then everything else kind of falls to the wayside. Engineer, honestly, I would probably put assault in front of the engineer for pure infantry combat. Let's go through it. You have adrenaline, which gives you a sprint speed boost and reduces explosive damage, so you won't die to an explosive as easily. Better with assault rifle, so if you're an assault rifle guy like myself, it definitely makes you a little bit better with the assault rifle, and then you're going to take less damage from falling down. So you're also going to have access to a shotgun, which the shotgun in Battlefield is honestly really damn strong, especially obviously close quarters, but like you are one pump chumping people like 5 to 10 meters away. It is extremely strong. So if you're like entering a room, you pull out your shotgun, because you can have an assault rifle and a shotgun, which is a super crazy kit to have. You run in to a building with a shotgun and just pump everybody down. You can kill like 3 guys in the span of like less than 2 seconds. And then you are going to have access to a grenade launcher, which you won't have that many shots. You'll have 2 shots. You can have access to explosive for explosive damage. It doesn't outright kill from what I've seen, but it does do a decent amount of damage. Or you could have the fire one, which I think is the better option because it makes it so people can't move very quickly, and it does do a decent amount of damage. And the AoE is pretty decent. And then obviously, grenades. One thing I don't like about the assault class is, like, again, without the support, like I find myself running out of ammo extremely fast. But when I'm assault, I'm kind of going in hard. You can find a kit. It's not that big of a deal. You just can't really play at range. Support is more like covering fire. Assault is like kind of getting up in there. Engineer, playing around vehicles. And recon, you're kind of playing on your own in a way, like either trying to snipe tanks or trying to snipe infantry. You're kind of running around on your own, giving squad beacons to your teammates. So that being said, this is how I'd rank everybody. Like I said, support is probably the best and easiest character to use for any skill level, because if you have a squad of medics, you're going to wipe out basically all enemy infantry pretty easily. Assault is really good for clearing buildings. Like one assault player that's really good with that shotgun can like go into a building and probably kill 4 to 6 people by themselves without anyone realizing what's going on. Engineer, really, if you're playing around a tank, your engineer is going to be extremely strong. But if you're not doing that, the engineer definitely falls back a little bit. But you can use the RPG to kill enemies, but you kind of have to hit them pretty dead on with it. Recon, like I said, your kind of stealth is key, running around, maneuvering, trying to catch people off guard. You don't want them shooting at you. You want to be the one shooting at them. And using your abilities to help your teammates out. All right, I know there's only 4 characters in the game currently, but I wanted to do a tier list because I want to start making Battlefield content, Battlefield 6 content on the channel, and here's to more. Make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, leave a like down below for more. Peace out. Hey.